What if I told you that some of Hollywood's most famous action stars weren't just playing tough guys, they were tough in real life? These actors didn't just act like heroes on screen. They lived it, fought real battles, survived real danger, and when you find out who number 4 is, you'll be shocked they even made it to Hollywood. Let's count down the 10 toughest actors in Hollywood history, starting with a war hero who looked like a schoolboy. Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin fought in the Pacific during World War II and was seriously wounded in the Battle of Saipan. He got a Purple Heart and rarely spoke of the war. But when he played violent men in movies like The Dirty Dozen, you believed him because he'd seen the real thing. He wasn't playing a role, he was reliving it. Charles Bronson. Before Hollywood, Bronson was a coal miner. One of 15 kids, he grew up dirt poor. At 10, he was working in the mines. Later, he became a World War II bomber gunner and was wounded in combat. He had the kind of calm toughness you can't fake. As one co-star said, Bronson didn't act tough, he was tough. Audie Murphy. He was only 5 feet 5 inches, looked like a teenager, and yet Audie Murphy was the most decorated American soldier in World War II. At just 19, he held off a company of German troops alone, wounded and out of ammo. He earned 28 military medals before age 21, including the Medal of Honor. Later, he played himself in the war movie To Hell and Back. Directors almost didn't cast him. He looked too innocent. But make no mistake, Audie was the real deal. Steve McQueen, the shocking one. Steve McQueen wasn't just the king of cool, he was a real-life daredevil. He performed almost all his own stunts and raced cars and motorcycles professionally. Once, he raced with a broken foot in a cast, and when he found out Charles Manson's cult was targeting him, he didn't hide, he carried a loaded gun everywhere. No security team, just McQueen being McQueen. Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas fought his way out of poverty through sheer will. He was a competitive wrestler before acting and served in the Navy until a medical discharge. After surviving a helicopter crash in his 70s, he went through painful rehab and returned to acting, proving mental toughness matters just as much as muscle. John Wayne. Known for his cowboy roles, Wayne was strong in real life too. He did most of his own stunts, even after having a lung and ribs removed due to cancer. He once cracked ribs during a horse fall and just kept filming. That's commitment. James Cagney. Short and fast, Cagney was a trained boxer and real-life street fighter. He brought that speed and power to the screen. During The Public Enemy, he shoved a grapefruit into a co-star's face, for real. His fights in movies were short, brutal, and real. He once said, "You either learn to fight or get used to being on the ground. I preferred standing." Robert Mitchum. Mitchum lived a rough life. He was homeless during the Great Depression and even served time on a chain gang. Later, he went to jail for marijuana but stayed cool. He said, "I kept the same expression for 40 years, and it worked." That calm, tough attitude wasn't acting. It was life. Anthony Quinn. Quinn was a real laborer, boxer, butcher, construction worker. Before acting, he had a broken nose from fights and did his own stunts into his 60s. But he wasn't just brawn. Co-stars said he had the body of a warrior and the soul of a poet. Charlton Heston. Heston served in World War II as an aerial gunner and later did dangerous stunts himself. For Ben-Hur, he trained like an athlete. For the agony and the ecstasy, he spent hours painting ceilings like Michelangelo. He also stood up for his beliefs, even when it wasn't popular. Physical and moral strength, Heston had both. These actors weren't just tough on camera, they were tough in life. War veterans, fighters, survivors, and rebels. Hollywood didn't make them strong, they brought that strength to Hollywood.